What up, what up, what up? It's Wednesday, y'all know the vibes. Welcome to another episode of the Ultimate 216 Show. If you woke up this morning, you already won. I hope you are doing something right now that your future self will thank you for. I'm your boy, Earl of Pearl. That is Cecil Shorts. What up, bro? How are you?
I'm decent, man. How about you?
I'm good, man. It's the first day of the Cleveland Cavaliers season. I'm excited about that. I think the Cleveland Browns to recognize a dude and high school athletes get some money, man. It's a good day in the city. Good
Man,
day in the city, man.
it's crazy. The NIL thing is crazy in Ohio. I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, can't wait to talk about that. Stack Show, half hour. Y'all know the vibes. Let's get into it. Our first topic of the day. It is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get 300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5. If it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little something in on the action. So what are you waiting for? Visit fanduel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Shout out to our sponsor, FanDuel. All right, bro. So me and you, the basic NFL fan, we can identify what a dude is, what a dude looks like, right? When guys are drafted into the NFL, it usually take about 2 or 3 seasons to see, okay, if this guy's a legit player or not. Some people flash earlier, some people flash later. But a dude kind of jumps off the screen right away. And when I think about the Cleveland Browns since 1999, who's been a dude, right? It got me to think of Joe Thomas, fair, that's a dude. Myles Garrett, that's a dude. Uh, Nick Chubb, that's a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Gordon, that's a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is Quinshon Judkins the next quote unquote dude? What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, that's a solid list. Like you look at Miles and Joe, like Hall of Fame type careers, right? Um, you look at Josh Gordon, Nick Chubb, two guys that were outstanding athletes and performed pretty much every time they were on the field. So when you look at Judkins, he has that potential. I don't know if he's a dude yet, but I think he has that potential. Like he is the real deal. And a lot of people question his long speed coming out of college. And I think this past week he shut that down. Like he was out there, 46-yard run. He was out there making guys miss. He is just really good at what he's doing right now. And I don't think we're done seeing him getting the most of the carries or most of the touches for the offense because he's the type of guy, honestly, that can go out there and make a play in any type of run. When I think of a dude, any type of run, it could be a home run hit. And I'm starting to feel that way with him. I feel better when he has the ball in his hands. I feel better when he's touching the ball. I feel better when the offense is schemed up for him. And I would love to see him get more touches in the passing game, stuff like that. But I think he's on his way to being a dude. It just still for him to still the ability to see different holes, kind of set holes up for himself. But he's on his way, man. I think he missed the first game. So besides that game, he's kind of been on fire with his yards and everything. So I think we might have something, Earl.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more, right? And you talk about it, he missed the first game. He missed all of training camp. And so for him to come in and hit the ground running, so to speak, while still getting caught up to speed, it says a lot. Right now, man, he's leading all rookies in total touchdowns. He's leading all rookies in yards from scrimmage. And then with him being a rookie, the patience that he displays from that position, man, it's almost like a veteran running back who just has that it feel for the game. And I know for me, I go back to Nick Chubb, and you remember the game we played the Oakland Raiders, and he had 3 carries, and 2 of them was for long touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
I left that game. I knew Nick Chubb was a dude. I ain't have to see no more to notice that he was a dude. You know, Quinshon Judkins plays with a type of passion, a type of like reckless abandon, a type of physicality, and a type of energy that truly, truly embodies the city of Cleveland. I think he a dude now. I honestly do. I think he a dude now. I think he has this balance to him where you talk about the long home run speed. He definitely has the physicality. He can get inside the tackles, outside the tackles. You know, I am starting to see, well, not starting to see, I am noticing that Jerome Ford He is spelling him a lot on third down. I don't know if Kevin Stefanski really trusts him in the pass protection part of it yet, but if not, once he get that part of the game down, you're looking at clearly an every down back right now.
Man, listen, I love his size, his stature. I think the biggest thing I love too is his mindset. Like he knows, like he acts like a dog, and when a dog has that mindset, it's just something, an aura about him that they carry himself a different way. But from the first time he touched the ball, he's been dominant. So I'm not as sold as you are yet, but I do believe he is on his way. And I want to see, honestly, I want to see him use more with Dylan Sampson. Because one thing I do get worried about is when you give a rookie, a younger guy, so many touches early, do you wear him out, right? But he seems like the type of guy that's built for this. He seems like the type of guy that wants the ball in the clutch situations, wants the ball on short yardage. And when you have that type of mindset back there, you're building something. So that's a great start, especially in this rookie class, a great start to help out whoever the young quarterback is going to be.
I think that's a perfect segue when you talk about building something. Like, you know, Quinshon Judkins has superstar potential written all over him. And if you look at the Cleveland Browns right now, and particularly on the offensive side of the ball, I don't think too many people will argue that Quinshon Judkins is our best player. And to me, that is the very first building block. You know, we talk about this team lacking, you know, talent and depth at certain positions. The position you play, wide receiver, to be one of them. By the way, man, I was going back looking at some of your highlights. And some of those catches early on, dude, was crazy. Like, man, the one-handed catching in the back of the end zone, I forgot about that one, man. Like, that was crazy. And like the passing touchdown too. That the quarterback came out of you, man. Like when y'all was in practice, like scheming that stuff up, was you chopping at the bit to like come back to your high school days?
Nah, it was yeah. Like it's something about. Like you dream as a kid throwing a touchdown in an NFL game, right? You're in the backyard. Oh, you pretend to be Michael Vick, or you pretend to be McNabb or whoever, right? And then to be able to do that in the game, oh my gosh! During practice, I was so pumped and excited. And then when he called in the game, I actually got two of them. When he called him in the game, it was like, "Yep, it's go time." Wasn't nervous, just do that thing.
Correct my memory. Did you ever rush for a touchdown?
No.
All right. So even still, though, you think about how many players that's played in the NFL, how many players that scored in the NFL. Like you in a small percentage of people who have caught and thrown touchdowns in this league.
Man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Throw that thing, man. Well, you are not an option at wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. So let's talk about three guys that could be potential targets for Andrew Berry to kind of assist Quinshon Judkins as you rebuild this Cleveland Browns team. And I thought it was healthy that we would do a topic like this because you look at the Cleveland Browns currently, you look at their record, and it's really, really easy to be a Debbie Downer and come on here and talk about who needs to go and how bad it is. But when you got a building block like Quinshon Judkins, it gets you excited about, okay, what you can add to it. Andrew Berry has not done a good job of drafting wide receivers, but he's done okay in the trade department. The best one being, of course, Amari Cooper. We're going to highlight three guys that, you know, I ain't going to say potentially, but we would like for Andrew Berry to take a look at as part of the long-term rebuild of the Cleveland Browns to get fans excited now and in the future. Let's start with one Garrett Wilson, right? If the Cleveland Browns was to try to make a move for Garrett Wilson, 25 years old, man, he signed a $130 million 4-year contract extension July of this year. $90 million of that guaranteed, and his contract runs through 2030. You look at his season, so he got 36 receptions, only 395 yards, 4 touchdowns. It don't seem like they really trust Justin Fields for real right now. In New York, he can be a little disgruntled. He being Garrett Wilson might be looking for a change. I don't really see the Jets trading a guy like that, you know, especially with a new head coach. But let's talk about it. If was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. But in this case, if there was a potential trade there, you know, would this be the guy that you would try to trade for? And what would that look like?
Oh, absolutely. Like if the Jets are willing, what you want? Tell me what you want. Because he's 25 years old.
Tell me what you want.
Hey, no, whatever you want. Because I got extra capital from the Jacksonville trade last year, right?
Facts.
So I have no issues with giving up maybe a Jacksonville pick or somebody else to get a 25-year-old all-star receiver. Absolutely, because you're adding him to Harold Fannin. You're adding him to Quinshon Judkins. So now you have 3 pieces on offense that you feel comfortable and solid about. Me personally, I love me some Harold Fannin. I think he's a solid pick, only going to get better. But now you add a Garrett Wilson to the team. Oh my gosh, a true number 1. So now, okay, let's just figure out what other pieces we need. Now you can get your offensive line, your quarterback, and another receiver. Judy can be a 2. Right. Judy can be a 3, right? I'm cool with that. But you have Garrett Wilson. Ooh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt who your number 1 guy is because there's nothing he can't do.
All right, let's move on to number 2. After we get through 3, I'm gonna ask you a question because I like how you evaluating each one of these wide receivers as to how they fit with some of these young promising players. Let's move on to Chris Olave, right? Another Ohio State Buckeye. He's 25 years old. He got his 5th-year option guaranteed or exercised, should I say, earlier this year. He is playing on a fully guaranteed rookie deal of $19.2 million. Again, 5th-year option has been exercised. I read some reports earlier today that, despite the rumors, the Saints really don't want to trade him. They would rather extend him. How would Chris Olave fit into what the Browns got going on? And then what would a package look like for him?
He would look great in a Browns uniform, first of all. Secondly, I think with his speed and his ability to take the top off the defense, when you look at a guy like him, he'd probably be a cheaper get too, honestly. Garrett Wilson would probably be a little more expensive to get him as far as your trade, what you got to trade for him. With Chris Olave, it'd be a little bit expensive, but it'll be cheaper. But his ability to go down the field, go routes, post routes, deep ends, that fits perfectly with what I think Judy can do. Judy's more a possession guy. Catch it, make guys miss, get up the field. But with Olave, man, it's his top end speed, his ability to catch the ball in the air, make 50-50 catches. He would fit really well with play action with Judkins going down the field.
Yeah, you mentioned the trade value will be a little less, and I agree with that. 2nd round, maybe a 3rd round, because the Browns still will have to pay Chris Olave. And if you trade for him, absolutely, that's what you're doing. You inking him to a new deal. And we know how the wide receiver market resets himself. So when you look at Garrett Wilson, for example, $130 million deal, $90 million guaranteed, he just signed that. I don't know what the numbers will look like behind the scenes when the trade is made, if a trade was to be made, but that's somebody that's already under contract, at least through 2030. On the other hand, you're going to have to pay new money, probably more money than what Garrett Wilson is making right now with a Chris Olave if you make a deal for him. But it won't cost you as much as far as draft capital unless you can attach a player with an expiring contract, to it that New Orleans might see as part of their rebuild. But I think that would be unrealistic looking at it from their standpoint. That makes sense?
No, that makes sense. I would worry about his concussion history too. I believe he had 3 or 4, a number of concussions the past couple of years, kind of slowed him down his production a little bit. Outside of that, though, he's been extremely healthy and he can play some ball, but I totally understand where you're coming from.
All right, let's move on to the final one that we have on our list, and it is one that we actually saw last week when the Cleveland Browns dominated the Miami Dolphins. One, Jaylen Waddle. Here's the situation with Waddle. He is 27 years old. He signed a 3-year extension with the Dolphins last year. The deal runs through 2028, according to Over the Cap. His deal is worth about $84.7 million in total value, with $36 million guaranteed. You talk about somebody with top end speed. Yeah. Jaylen Waddle, how would that look like as far as him in our system? And then what do you think a package looks like to try to get him here to Cleveland?
I think he'll look great in the system, especially when McDaniels comes over after the season. Oh, did I say that? I didn't mean to say that. Sorry.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. McDaniels was probably looking across the sidelines like, ooh, if I was the OC here, baby.
Man, listen. No, for real. I think Jaylen was always kind of undervalued and underappreciated because of Tyreek Hill and how good Tyreek has been over the years. But Jaylen Waddle is somebody that runs extremely good routes. We talked about his speed and the speed threat he has. He can run posts, he can run and goes, he can run comebacks really well, deep out routes really well, which open up everything else, right? And when you got a guy like him paired with Fannin and Judy and Judkins that can do some things down the field. You can get some shots down the field that really help the offense, but I also think I like him a tad bit more than Olave over the middle. He seems like over the middle, he catches the ball a little bit tougher, a little bit more firm. And his run after catch is what sets him apart from the other two receivers we talked about. He may catch a short slant and then break a tackle, and then now he's down the field 70 yards for a touchdown. His speed, he's probably the fastest guy that we talked about today. His speed is unreal. So to add that explosiveness to the offense, you got him and you got Judkins, who are deep threats, or who anytime they touch the ball, they can go to the house. It's a really cool deal.
All right, so we went through the three guys. Are the three guys, if you were Andrew Berry, if you were trying to make a move before the upcoming trade deadline to add a guy that is going to be a part of your long-term rebuild, which of these three guys make more sense to you?
That's a good question. Because with Waddle, I think Waddle and Garrett are already on big-time deals, right? I think Waddle's probably the more affordable one. That's big money, but more affordable one. But I think the most upside and what fits the offense best would probably be a Garrett Wilson type. If I was Andrew Berry, I would try to get Garrett. That's just me personally. I love his age. I love his technique when he runs his routes. I love that he can do a multitude of things. I love that he stays healthy so much. And I think that's what separates him from the other guys. He's staying healthy on the field. You know what you're going to get from him week in and week out. And he has some quarterbacks that were average or below the last few years, even with Aaron Rodgers there, you know what I mean? And Devontae Adams, he still was producing and still putting 1,000-yard seasons every single year out there. So for me, I would lean towards Garrett Wilson.
So I'm torn. I think it's between Garrett Wilson and Jaylen Waddle. The one thing about Garrett Wilson that kind of raises question marks for me is what would be the asking price for Garrett Wilson? They just paid him a lot of money. He's 25 years old. He plays a prime position. Is that a guy, and this is just a rhetorical question, is that a guy that, are you asking for multiple number ones for? And I have to ask myself, is that too much considering everything else the Cleveland Browns need? And because if it's not, and it's just a single one with multiple, mid-round picks, maybe this year or next year, then I ask myself, all right, does that take a Carnell Tate off the table? And if it does, then now do you just go strictly with the offensive line with those two picks? And I'm still on the Jeremiah Smith train, because even in 2027, if you had a receiver now, you think about it, Jerry Jeudy will be a year older, I believe, with either on the last year or 1 year left on his contract. And so you will still already have another dominant wide receiver that's going to be able to step in. Waddle, on the other hand, when I think about the possibilities of drafting Carnell Tate, moving Jeudy to the 2, having him in the slot, that's appealing to me. When you talk about his top end speed, and when we talk about when nickel corners have to line up against that with no boundaries, that can be a dangerous, dangerous game. I think that the asking price for him wouldn't be as high as it would the other two guys, and he will make the most sense, just to me personally, if you are looking at how can I say this? Carnell Tate, I think, has the potential to be a dominant number one wide receiver, but you'll also be getting him on a rookie deal. And so if you can trade like a mid-round pick for a Jaylen Waddle, you still got Jerry Jeudy under contract for 2 more years. You get a Carnell Tate. That puts you in a situation to where in 2027, depending on where you at and how things fall, there's a Ryan Williams, there's a Jeremiah Smith, among others, that's going to be right there. And then you can make a decision, whomever, is in charge, with what you can do then. So I think it presents a flexibility if you was able to get a deal done. What you think?
No, I agree with you on there. I'm trying to think of the asking price for Wilson compared to Waddle. I think you have to give up less for Waddle, right? I don't think you have to give up a first for Waddle. I don't. So I think you'll be able to keep your stuff intact. Maybe some mid-round picks, maybe a player, but I don't think you have to give up a lot for Waddle. I think with Wilson, that first from Jacksonville probably got to go. I think just the asking be higher, right? I think the asking price will be higher, but the production, I think, on both ends is going to be equal. Like, you're going to get a guy that's very productive. But just for me, I'm willing to give up draft capital needed for Wilson simply because I know to me, he's very, how do I want to put this? His best ability is his availability, right? He's going to be available each and every week. He knows how to maneuver, take care of his body, or even not take big hits like that, right? Compared to a Waddle who's been banged up at times because he's a speed guy with hamstring and stuff like that. But either or, I'll be totally fine with. I'm just hoping they make some type of deal for somebody to help this receiver room this season right now.
There it is, man. Y'all let us know in the comments that, if the Browns was able to make a move for one of these 3 wide receivers, who do you think makes the most sense and why? We'd love to read your thoughts, man. Coming up next, we talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and about an hour from now, they tip off with their first game of the NBA season. But this is a good time to let you know, hey, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show YouTube channel. Use that link right there if you need to, right? Use that QR link right there if you need to. Subscribe, ring the bell, like, so you can be in the know of everything that's going on with the main flagship show, all of the spinoff shows, the Ultimate Brown Show, the Ultimate Guardian Show, the Ultimate Buckeye Show, the show you're watching right now, the Ultimate 216 Show, and the Ultimate Cavs Show, who, by the way, will be going live after the Cleveland Cavaliers take on the New York Knicks tonight on ESPN in the first game of the season. So remember, man, like and subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. All right, man, it's time to talk some hoops, man. How excited are you that the NBA season started yesterday? The NBA is back, and our beloved Cleveland Cavaliers are back in action tonight. How you feel about that?
I'm excited, man. I think the NBA does a really good job with opening night, setting up like storylines. So to see like KD go back to OKC last night, to see, kind of the old heads. LeBron wasn't playing, but you see the Lakers and Luka and all those guys back. Marcus Smart getting in, trying to get in Steph Curry's in. I don't understand why you want to mess with Steph Curry. That's just don't do it.
He got that flagrant one quick, didn't he?
Like, no, his first quarter, like, God, man. But like, they do a really good job putting that stuff together and making it exciting to watch. So to see the Cavs go off tonight on day 2 of the NBA against it should be two teams battling for the East, battling for the top spot in the East, battling to come out the East this year. If everybody stays healthy with the Knicks, this is going to be a lot of fun. I got some things I'm really looking forward to. Can't wait to see Lonzo Ball get out there. He's secretly one of my favorite players in the league. I don't know why, but I just love the way he plays as a point guard, a true point guard in my opinion. But no, I can't wait, man. It's going to be exciting.
Now, you talk about the storylines, man. It's a storyline here, too. Something that kind of fell under the radar for a lot of people. Mike Brown, former Cleveland Cavaliers coach 2 times, is the head coach of the New York Knicks. So, it's going to be exciting for me because I'm still a fan of Mike Brown, to keep it all the way real with you, to see like what this New York Knicks version looks like, or this version of the New York Knicks look like under Mike Brown. I think back to when he first took over in Sacramento and how like potent that offense was early on in his first season. And so it is very, very interesting to see, what wrinkles he's going to throw out there to try to get that team over to the next hump. And I can expect this to be a battle, all season long between these 2 teams. You talk about things that you are looking forward to seeing tonight. We all understand this is one of 82, right? And I get it, 64-18 last year, exit in the second round. Regular season don't have much merit to it. Holla at me in April when the playoffs start. That's cool if that's for you. But I enjoy basketball, and I'm going to find a reason to, get myself entertained every single night. Me and you have talked a lot about Evan Mobley on this show. You know me, man. I done bought pretty much every single piece of Evan Mobley stock there is to be bought out there. Me and my man Mikey McNuggets, man, like we didn't even rob people. If you had stock, let me get that. I need that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the one thing that I'm looking forward to after hearing all offseason about this year is about Evan Mobley developing into that dude, into the overall best player on his team, about how Evan Mobley asserting himself and his dominance and leading the Cleveland Cavaliers to where they need to go, right? And we talk about him being more of a focal point in the offense, especially early on with Darius Garland, slated to miss probably the first 10 games of the season, allegedly. I heard he chopping at the bit to get out there tonight. They ain't going to let that happen, though. But you just think about all of that, And I go back to last season, how when the rotations were, in place, right? The first substitution, anytime Donovan Mitchell came out the game, Evan Mobley came out the game with him. I am very interested to see how it looks for the first time tonight when Donovan Mitchell subs out and Evan Mobley stays in. And now he's the focal point of the offense with your boy, Lonzo Ball potentially being the one that's out there, being a point guard, being a facilitator. I truly believe that Evan Mobley is going to take a massive leap this year, even bigger leap than what he took last year. I'm telling you, man, to see him in person, he looks thicker. He looks like he done put on a lot of muscle mass. His footwork is there. I think that his 3-point shot looked better than it did last year. Kenny Atkinson already talked about him being able to handle the ball more. And I think what better way than to really assert yourself aggressively on the offensive side of the ball immediately, game one, to let people know, like, hey, okay, they are dependent on me to carry a bigger load than last year. And so that's the biggest thing that I'm personally going to be looking for is, the offense running through Evan Mobley without Donovan Mitchell on the court.
I tell you what, if he comes out tonight and puts up 30 and 10, 30 and 12, I'm jumping out my seat. I'm like, oh, we got something here. We got
to do a show tonight.
we got hey, he owned it already. He owned it already. So let me ask you, because you sent a tweet out the other day, and it was about Evan Mobley going to hit 50 points this year. Right?
Yeah, I put like my two big bold predictions, and one of them was Evan Mobley scoring 50.
So I just looked up Evan Mobley's career high, 41, and in 2024 against the Charlotte Hornets, right in December of 2024 against Charlotte. I think he had like 6 threes, had like 10 rebounds and 3 blocks. So my question to you is, if he does take that step, when does he hit the 50? Before the All-Star break or after the All-Star break?
If he take that step, I think it comes before the All-Star break. I really do. I think that, if the usage rate goes up and, he gets to build in that confidence by asserting himself early, I think you can see one of those huge breakout games from Evan Mobley. 50-point game. You mentioned 30 and 10. I mean, hell, he's capable of 30 and 20 if we being all the way real. Like, I think Evan Mobley's potential is absolutely through the roof. And I honestly believe if he can hit the ground running right away to show people that he means business, then that's going to be very, very exciting. Just to talk to people within the organization and people to cover the Cavaliers all offseason, Evan Mobley has built this confidence and taken on this leadership role as far as being a dude that's organizing these offseason activities. I even hear like he walk around like big man on campus. And for a Cavs fan, like we want to hear that, right? Like we want to hear that because we know how much we're counting on Evan Mobley. We know what his potential is. And I'm just excited personally to see him actually take the court, and start getting busy.
No, I'm with you on that. So tonight, you looking at Evan, I'm looking at Lonzo, and should be a good night tonight.
Hey, that's low-key a perfect marriage, man. I gotta share with the fans what I put in, and I did put a parlay in tonight, man. Real quick, gotta let y'all know. I put a quick 6-leg in. I want to get your thoughts on this too. The odds on this is plus 630. Okay. All right. I got Evan Mobley to score 20, Spider to score 20, 3 made 3-pointers from Donovan Mitchell. I got 8 rebounds from Evan Mobley, 8 rebounds from Jarrett Allen. What you think about that?
That's
doable.
Solid. That's very doable, especially against the Knicks team that's going to score a lot of points. That's very, very doable. So
before we get to our last segment, man, wrap up the show and talk about some NIL in Ohio, I got to share something with you. I found something today. Boy. I got to go get this frame. It's still in great condition. I can't believe that I came across of it. I love the suspicion on your face right now. I really hope you still got yours. I bet you your father got his. I guarantee your father got his. Look what I found. Look what I found.
Absolutely, he got his.
You see today, Monday, June 20th, 2016. Yeah. This baby got to go on the look. It got to go on the frame. And I promise you, ain't nothing wrong with an encore 10 years later, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that, right?
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
There it is, man. Y'all let us know what y'all think, man. Don't forget, man, the Cleveland Cavaliers tip off in about an hour with the New York Knicks from Madison Square Garden. That game is on ESPN. The Cleveland Cavaliers opened up this morning when I made this graphic as a 1.5 favorites with the over under at 228.5. So if you want to have some fun, get in on the action, man, use FanDuel, put a little money on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and make sure you let them know. Coming up, our final segment of the show, we talk about NIL in the state of Ohio and the impact that it's going to have on high school sports. But first, we got to let y'all know again, man, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Use that QR code right there that's in the corner so you can subscribe, ring the bell so you can be in the know of all the spinoff shows when we go live. Me and Cecil typically go live or do a recorded show for you all every Wednesday, either at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Don't forget to catch the rest of them, the Ultimate Cavs, the Ultimate Browns, the Ultimate Guardians, and the Ultimate Buckeyes. Again, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show so you can stay in the know. So this last topic, man, something that broke, I think a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday. I can't really remember, but the game just changed for Ohio high school sports, man. Opportunity meets risk, and it's happening in our backyard. Let me break it down to you. So OHSAA approved NIL for high school athletes in October of 2025. It reverses the 2022 vote that failed. National momentum basically forced this change. Here's how what's effective right now today. Athletes in all sports can sign endorsements and social deals. No school logos or uniforms in the promotions. NIL must not interfere with team obligations. Schools and coaches cannot, I repeat, cannot broker deals directly. Ohio joins 33 states, including Pennsylvania, Indiana, and Michigan, to be on board with NIL for high school students. You can expect the biggest impacts to be in Cincinnati, Columbus, Akron, and of course, our hometown, Cleveland, Ohio. What was your initial thoughts when you heard that NIL was coming to high school sports in our state?
Did they say it was only for seniors?
It didn't specify if it was only for seniors or not.
Okay, so it can be right now, as we read it, it could be just for any high school athlete, regardless of the grade. I'm excited about it for the high school athletes. I'm excited. I'm really excited about it for them because I think it's another way for anybody to provide for themselves, for their family. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a lot of fun.
You get to have sponsors. You get to represent a business or whatever the case may be at a younger age. But I also think, and I'm hoping that people educate themselves, whether it's financial literacy, whether it is just what they're getting into, that they really do their research and don't just accept anything that comes to you. Make sure you do your due diligence. But it's exciting times in Ohio, man. Ohio is a big-time sports state. Whether people know that or not, is huge. It's like tremendously huge, and it matters to us. We're a blue-collar type state, a blue-collar city in Cleveland. So anybody that's coming out, I'm excited for them, like to really experience something new and something fresh.
Yeah, when you said it was fun, like I'm right there with you. And I think about the pros of it, right? Because this is an opportunity to, teach young men and women discipline at an earlier age, right? Like if I'm in that situation, 14, 15 years old, and I understand that I can earn an income while in high school and playing sports, it's going to make me lock in on my studies. It's going to make me lock in on my practice habits. It's going to make me live a more disciplined lifestyle early on. And, with teenagers, like our teenagers and other people, teenage kids, what they don't understand is people like you and I who've kind of experienced it. I'm pretty sure there's parts of us that kind of wish we was more, disciplined, more structure to kind of like not have the learning curve of life be so sharp sometimes. Right. And I think this is an opportunity to motivate young adults to be on top of your A game a little earlier and understand that if you actually like make the sacrifices and put in the work earlier, it can have like major payoff early on and not just when you get to the collegiate level. And so, anything in this world, there's a good and an evil too. But if you can find a way to like channel all the positives and use this for good, I think this is great, right? You talk about families being able to broker like local deals, and I kind of went back when me and you was in high school. We arrived at Collinwood at 03. We spent our 4 years there. Shout out to the Wood. But people like me and you who are sports junkies, man, we start paying attention to high school sports probably like 01, 02. So that's like 7th grade, 8th grade. We knew who the mainstays was. We knew who the players was. And this is the list I compiled to talk about, who would have gotten NIL deals back in our day, right? Okay. Number one is obvious. LeBron James, right?
Yeah. Easy.
Like, he probably would have had a deal with like Swenson. Like, Swenson, he would have had a Swenson deal. You know what I'm saying? What other business, what other local business you think would have came Bron way, man? Like that he would have been excited to represent.
Bron was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, so I think he would get something like maybe a City Blue or something.
I thought about City Blue.
Maybe something like that. There's a few things out there, but Bron was big, man. He'll probably have a boatload of them. He was famous when we were 7th, 8th grade,
yeah,
10th grade, whatever it was.
Like what's crazy is, man, I told this story. You probably seen the tweet, man. For people our age who kind of grew up in that Bron era, like we remember when Bron played football. Yeah, and like it wasn't just who, like, man, we remember seeing Bron on the football field, bro. Yeah. And like I don't think people understand, like. Man, y'all thought he was dominant on that court, bro. Was unstoppable on that field, man.
He was different out there, too.
It was wild. Bron, 2-time Mr. Basketball. Jawad Williams is another one. St. Ed's, state champion. Mr. Basketball, you know what I'm saying, from the St. Clair area. Like, can you see an open pit and a hill deal and back during his time?
Yeah, I could see like an open pit. I could see a Aldi's or a Save-A-Lot or something coming this way. I can see him in a Save-A-Lot commercial or something like that. Somebody
that's big money. Early 2000s.
Character, tall guy. I can see him doing something good like that. Yeah.
Another Mr. Basketball winner. Let's go to a Miss Basketball winner. Barbara Turner. Turner. Hey, people our age, man. When we heard about Barbara, brother, we used to go see her play ourselves. Like
people sleep on Barbara Turner. She was phenomenal. People like she was in my opinion, she was in the category of whatever the best hoopers are coming out now, the Jujus. She was in that category coming out of high school. Like she was that talented, that good, and that dominant.
What's up, man? What's she getting? What you giving her for that for NIL?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I can see. That's a tough one.
I can see like a Hot Sauce William B&M's, a local chain that's been a staple in the city for a long time. Like cold, she might even get a Slimus deal for real.
Slimus would have been good. No, but she was a stud, man. She was a superstar. Like she was a superstar.
All right, I got one more before we wrap it up because we already over our time. He comes from our rival, brother. He comes from our rival. You know, all I got to do is say fast. You know who I'm talking about, bro.
Teddy G.
Yeah, Teddy G, man. Teddy G. What are you doing? He getting an open pit deal too.
He getting an open pit. He probably can get a barbershop deal. He probably gonna get. I'm trying to think what else is on St. Clair. I'm just gonna go down St. Clair, right?
Is he running down the street to Kim's?
Kim's. He gonna get a Kim's deal. It's gonna be a car dealership in there somewhere. Maybe the library, the local library that was near Glenville. He'll get that too. Like he was somebody probably just get everything.
Yeah, man. Hey, Ginn was special, bro. Like I remember, like back in those days, and just like watching Ginn up close in person. We all knew like what Jesse Owens did as far as high school track in the state of Ohio. And Ted was just out here breaking his records, bro. And like at that age, I don't know if he really understood what was being done. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about Teddy a lot on the football field, but on that track, he got busy too.
I don't think people realize like how fast he was. Like if I'm not mistaken, his junior year, he ran like 20.4 or something, 20.5 in the 200 meters. His junior year in the prelims of the city meet. So that's Olympic type level speed, right? And his speed was just phenomenal. It wasn't normal out there. It was never close unless he got to the elite level, right? And people always think speed of Florida and Texas and West Coast with Cali. We had some real speed. Like when Ted used to run, all eyes were on him, and he had some great battles in the hurdles and stuff. It was always fun to watch Teddy run.
All right. Honorable mention. I can't leave here without talking about what your NIL used to look like. Because let's just keep it a buck. Up until our junior and senior year, man, wins was hard to come by. But yeah, somehow, some way, you found a way to stand out amongst the best in the Senate, amongst the best in Northeast Ohio. To the point, man, like the whole tug of war to try to get you come to Glenville. Like, we used to walk around high school like, hey, is Cecil leaving? is he leaving us? But I just go back to like those last 2 years, man. What was it? 6-4 and then 7-3, or was it 7-3 and 6-4? Those last 2 years we had, it just seemed like we would start to turn a corner when everybody was about to leave. And you definitely would have had that Kim's. I'm sorry, bro. You would have had to skip out on gym. We would have been sending you out the side though. Sorry, Coach Shorts. Yes, we was all going out the side though. We grown now. We was all going out the side though.
Everybody go out
the pin in the dough. Somebody would be lookout. Like, you would have had to go get that free Kim's for us, bro.
Man, listen, it was our last 2 years, we had a special group. Like, it was a lot of people. The coaches were awesome. A lot of the players, we kind of just grew up together, right? So we got better. We got beat up early on, and as we got older, we got better. But honestly, and you mentioned it pre-show, like you can't skip the girls track team. Like Sabrina, Joy, all them. Like, Sabrina would have found a way to get the biggest NIL deal in the entire state. Like, Sabrina just knows how to communicate. She knows how to get what she wants. She would have been up there. You know who we didn't mention too?
Who?
What's the running back for Benedictine? Raymond Williams.
Yeah, he would have got him one too.
He would have got him one too. So it was a bunch of people from the city, man.
Hey, we listed Special.
Forgot about Special.
Special would have got her a bag, man.
The name alone would have got her something, right? The name alone would have got her something.
Yeah, like, I don't think people realize when we come from that era to where, like, our girls track team, it was state championship or bust. If we didn't win state, the season was not a success. Yeah. It was just that simple, man. Shout out to Coach Slap, man, because the discipline they had,
special
you know what I'm saying, to really get that done. Like, like we come from some good times in our era. This was a fun conversation to have. This was a fun show to spend with y'all. Again, like, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Catch me and the homie Cecil Shorts next week for a brand new episode. And y'all know the vibes anytime we in the building. I'm sorry. Be great. Spread love. Remember, being great come with a price. Spread love is priceless. Till next time. Peace.